Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and in today's episode, we're going to continue on with more things from my CD collection. All right, and in today's episode, I want to do some of the Japanese artists that are in my collection. Okay, so before I begin, I remind you to go down below, click like, and click subscribe. Any sort of markings and comments that you do add to the algorithm, and that helps YouTube promote the video. So do help do that. If you want to support me financially, I do have the Patreon and PayPal links below. Again, I am getting ready to do the anime giveaway. So this time around, I'm going to be basically having the donators and Patreon members to give me a list of different things that are favorite animes from, let's say, 1 to 5 or something, from best to worst. And then basically I will find something to put in and give you as part of the anime giveaway. Of course, I'm going to have lots of other things as well, but those are things I'm going to concentrate on. So again, this is a good time to go to do that as well. I've also put the links for the various different resources that we have, as well as my audiobooks and that as well on the Patreon, so that you members can get access to those as well. All right. So today's episode, we're going to go and go over a couple of different anime CDs and whatnot pertaining to Japanese artists, and then just sort of go through some of the ones that I've come across. So I'll just sort of begin at the letter A and just sort of go through that way, right? Sort of significant titles there. So right away, okay, the first one I pick is this little bunch here. Okay. I have here a selection of CDs called Anime Metal. Okay. Now, basically, there's this band. Basically, they what they do is they like to play and take anime songs, and they play them at basically heavy metal speed, and so that's why they have this band called Anime Metal. Okay. And so these basically guys, work off of all the popularity that a lot of heavy metal bands have. I mean, a lot of the big influences are obviously things like Kiss and Dio, and then of course they also have their own metal bands like Loudness and that kind of stuff that they made, X Japan and whatnot. So they made a whole pile of these different CDs and whatnot for this sort of theme. Even including this one here is anime metal lady, so a lot of more female oriented songs and that stuff. And as well as they also made one called anime punk. Okay, so this is sort of a variation of how much anime and this music culture has sort of mixed. And some of the mixes are pretty interesting. I've already put when those guys came on to the Hit Parade TV show, some of the selections of different songs. This also gives you an indication of how much certain animes penetrate popular culture in Japan as well. Okay, under the letter A, I also have this band. Okay, one of the very first people that I've got into when I was doing Japanese and Chinese songs and that kind of stuff, anime, was this band here, Anzenshitai. Okay, now this was actually one of the first CDs that I ever bought in terms of like Japanese music kind of thing. They had a song called Tsukisa, which is the opening theme song for Maison Akaku, but it was also done in Chinese, right? So that's sort of why I remember sort of having this song there. So they have a whole bunch of different sort of various albums. Okay, now one of the things that they did, sort of in the early years and at this time, is a lot of people numbered their albums, right? So this is Anzenshitai 1, okay? And like many other bands, like Modern Talking and whatnot, they just numbered their albums 1 to whatever, right? So sure, they may have a good, like an additional name, okay? Like this one here, they labeled as #1, and the album name is Remember to Remember. But I mean, I think Modern Talking did the exact same thing. #3 is Ready for Romance and whatnot. So where Modern Talking went all the way up to Modern Talking 8 or 9 or whatever. Anzantai also has the same soundtrack. So Anzantai 2, Anzantai 3, that's 4. 5 is a double CD set. So this opens up and has 2 CDs in that volume there. That's 6, and that's 7. Okay, and Anzantai is known, of course, for Suki stuff for Maison Kaku, but they've also done a lot of other very famous songs and that kind of stuff for that. Red Wine is another one, which is really popular for me. Okay, another big band for me is the band Bees. Now, I've always been a big fan of people who do guitar and that kind of stuff. So, the Bees is basically a duo, which basically has one guitar one main really and the main singer as well. Okay, and they do a lot of really cool guitar riffs and that kind of stuff for them, which really makes it really interesting. I particularly like the song "Love Phantom," which is used as the image theme song for the X-Files TV series when they played it in Japan. There we go. And they also have many songs like "Fireball" and whatnot, which are really, really good. They have a few other songs like "Fireball" and whatnot, which is also really good. They have a very nice signature guitar emphasis on them. So definitely for people who like that kind of edginess, this is definitely a band to check out.
So I thought, okay, well, let me check it out. And I got a stack of CDs like this. And I thought, how am I going to listen to all these CDs, So I figured I'd go and I'd just listen to a little bit of each one. I ended up listening to the entire stack of CDs, every song, multiple times, because I realized when listening to this music that these guys are actually very inspired. I don't usually listen to that kind of music, but I was drawn to this music because it was done so well, and it was very insightful and artistic, which is hard to kind of find for sometimes great selling records, So I thought it would be really nice if I had an opportunity to work with these guys. And they accepted my invitation to come to Los Angeles and work with me on a song. And working with them, I realized why they are so popular and why they are so good. Because sometimes, the stars align and two people come together, and the chemistry of what they do together really complements each other. And I noticed that by working with these guys. It was almost like they had ESP or something. And they each got the best out of each other. And I was lucky because some of it landed on my record. And it was a wonderful experience, and I'm very thrilled to have worked with them. And I'm very glad, I'm very thankful to Guitar Center for recognizing this great talent, because they really are great. It's unfortunate sometimes that, the music we make might be privy to a particular area, but anybody in the world, I believe, can listen to this music and really see it for the brilliance that it is. So it gives me great pleasure to know them, and they're really cool guys too. So the Bees, thank you.
Under the letter D, we have this band here called Dreams Come True. Okay, so basically two main guys who are basically the instrumentalists, the guitarist, and that kind of stuff. Main female singer. They produce a whole bunch of really poppy sort of songs. And they've got a lot of songs and that kind of stuff that they've produced for them, and they always show up on the top charts listings and that kind of stuff for them, right? So again, they really nice, easy, poppy sort of J-pop stuff that is pretty common on the charts at this particular time in the 90s and whatnot. So I picked up a lot of albums from them. Okay, so under the G section here, I have got a large section of CDs from the band Glay. Okay, so Glay obviously has a whole bunch of different sort of albums and whatnot. I know that I think one of my favorite songs from them is the song "Innocent World," which they used in the one of the favorite songs I like to have. It was used in various different programs and that kind of stuff. They always show up in the charts with the like music countdown and whatnot, and they have lots and lots of various different appearances in a lot of like concerts and that kind of stuff where they do things like benefits, like zero landmines and whatnot. They appear in that. The next one I have is under H. There's two of them of one particular note. Okay, the first one is Hiroko Kasahara. Okay, so she's one of the main voice VAs for things like Pat Labor and whatnot. But she's got like a huge double album here called S5, and she's got a Christmas album called Caroling. Okay, this is her Memories CD. Okay, that's volume 1, that's volume 2, and this is another collection of different songs and that kind of stuff where she does many different things. Again, you can see she does Clamp, Magical Nights Rare Earth, of course, Pat Labor, Macross 2. Okay, so just some of the credits that she is in. The other one under H, which also has significance, is this one here. Okay, this is Hikaru Shina. Right, so this is her albums of again, a voice actor's VA. She does this one here. Okay, this is her main song collection, Baby Blue Eyes. Okay, this is the Moto, so sort of see single there. This is her Shina. Okay, self-titled, and here's her single collection. Okay, so that's one row. So that takes me all the way to the letter G, the H there. So I'll have to continue more of this in the next episode. So again, I'll guess in the next episode I'll do the the next line here, which is starting from I, and then the next line here is starting from S. Okay, so again, don't forget to like and subscribe to make sure you get the notification on these new episodes when I get them on. Right? So until next time, I will see you again.